going, guys? So before we start the video, I'd like to ask you guys to like, comment, and subscribe. So today we're going to be talking about something we were talking about earlier, which was our rental system. I did test out a different rental method, which I was told on Splinterlands TV might be a good one, but I figured it wasn't technically the best method. There is another method that's also interesting. I forgot what it's called. I think it's called Splinter Rents. I haven't tested that method out yet, but I don't think I will. A couple reasons is because I don't want to oversaturate myself and put myself in a situation where I'm in a lot of different places at the same time. So first, I want to look at what I was testing out. So I was testing out this Peakmonsters rental system. Let me switch over to my rental account so I can show you guys more in detail. I was looking into this Peakmonsters rental account. So I set this up here, but you could change your check every how many hours. It would recheck your rentals if they're over a certain amount of DCs. For example, my Scavo Harling goes up to 7 DC rental and I have it currently at 5. It would take off my rental and push it to 7, and I would pay 1 DC fee on that. So that's pretty much what that means in the sense. And this is another way to rent. You can configure to all cards and push it. Issue I was running into was it wouldn't rent out all my cards, so it wouldn't have all my cards listed that I wanted it to be listed. So it would only list a good amount and leave like 5 or 6 cards without being listed. And it said something along the lines of I am not high enough level to be able to rent those things out. So I was not like I'm right now a Squirrel Master. I need to be leveled up here in the account here, or I would have to buy a subscription, which subscription would be 542 and 474.474. Realistically, I was looking at the idea of maybe if I were to buy this monthly account, but I don't. I did some calculations, and I can show you guys my calculations on this. We also are not getting any airdrop on this account at all because we haven't bought many cards in here. We are getting airdropped in my main account, which I'll switch over to now just so I can show you guys in like more intensive detail because I don't realistically use the PKM token at all. I just leave it there and let it sit. So I could technically use this 50 tokens to buy into the membership, but I am getting airdropped even here. I'm getting airdropped 4.327. If you guys use PKM a lot, you guys will also be earning some airdrops. I don't exactly know how these airdrops are working. I assume it's the amount of money I have spent and others have spent. That's why we're getting some airdrop, but I don't know how long that lasts or how that all works. But let me show you something interesting about this PKM token. So it has all these added features, which are really good features. I'm not gonna lie about that. They're actually probably better features than you could get off of Splex.gg. But access to advanced market compare stats, that's pretty good. Access to advanced rental compare stats, that's also really good. Unlock options to set rental prices based on market metrics. Allow changing price of rented out cards. 30% additional collection sets. Premium collection filters. View cards on sale. Market with low market fee. Grant max balance multiplier bonus for sales bids. Notifications coming soon. So there's a lot of good stuff with this, but it is very pricey if you're thinking about just using this for rentals. So you do get a discount. This is worth $4.5, so it's $4.50 if you pay with like SBS, if you pay with DC, if you pay with Hive, if you pay with HBD. But you do want to pay with PKM because it is the cheapest value. For example, if you pay with SPS, it's 198, right? And if you go through here, 198 is $4.50. With PKM, you have a 33% discount. I believe that's what it says. A 30% discount if you pay with PKM. So you would technically want to sell your, even if you're gonna buy with SPS, you would want to sell your SPS too. Therefore, buy into PKM. So let's calculate the factors of how much this would cost daily because our rental payments are daily and our fees are daily as well. So let's go with our handy dandy, look up a calculator really quick. And let's look at the actual fees. So first we gotta go to the PKM token here, which is worth 0.0058. So Control C that, Control V that, times the current price would be 542. 542.474. 474. That's equivalent to $3.18, correct? That is what someone would pay if they did not get a slight discount, or if they did not discount, if they did not get an airdrop of PKM. I do get an airdrop, so my calculations would be slightly different than everyone else. So it'd be 542. Also, the price of PKM is always moves, so that also means that you might have to spend more PKM or less PKM depending on its value. So here we would even do minus our airdrop chance, which our airdrop is 17.308, and that would equal 25 or 525.33. Then we would times that by the current value, and equals, we will still be at $3.08. We would divide this by 30 days because that's pretty much a month. We will be spending 10 cents per day if we upgrade our PKM membership. Which there's other features that are actually worth trying and using on there. So I'm not bashing it just because of that, but if you're exclusively to use this for rentals, it would cost 10 cents per day. I want to show you guys how much I am renting for per day. So even at our current values, we are renting for or renting for 43, but our fee is for a 74579. You can see our fees are not always reaching over more than 10 DC a day. So we do have a couple low ones, we do have a couple high ones. So 7-8 is roughly around, let's say, how much we were making. And even those calculations, if we were to calculate, for example, 7 DC, we would be paying 0.005 DC per day, which is not equivalent to 10 cents per day. How much actual SPS do we need, or DC do we actually need for it to be 10 cents? It would only make sense if we were paying 130 DC to SplexGG. Would be better if we did buy the PKM token. So technically, if we made 140 DC a day or 140 fee a day would be what we would pay, but like I said, we are paying 10% fees right now, and that would mean that if we were to make that amount 130, we would have to rent for 1,300 would be our profit daily, correct? I believe that is correct. Let me make sure. 10%. Jeez, okay. Whoops. 10% of 1.3. That would be, yeah. So we had to make 1,300 in rentals to have the same cost as right now, currently at current prices of PKM, which does not make sense. It realistically does not make much sense, right? But I feel like we will eventually get to that point way, way, way far in the future. Not right now, especially how Splinterlands has made a lot of changes. We'll see how market gets affected by that, right? And if DC does go to peg, that does change things as well, because then we are paying a little bit more when DC is in peg. There's another Splinter Rents thing that's through Discord that also is interesting. They do charge 5% fees or something, a lot less. I will be making a video on that as well after this. I haven't set that up at all, but I need to figure that out. So that's probably the lowest fees you could get currently. But with that being said, I do not use PKM with anything, or I don't use it for anything. So something I want to try out is actually putting our PKM to a PKM SPS pool. Why? Because we get rewarded some PKM. We get rewarded some PKM in this pool. We get a certain amount of PKM for having PKM in this pool. I do have currently in my holdings 167 PKM. So I will be pushing this PKM into the liquidity pool. The reason is because we will get paid some more PKM and we could do our calculations. And eventually, if we do end up making more PKM, in the sense if we do get paid airdrop plus we get paid pool PKM as well, we could do our calculations again and see if we could lower that 10 cents per day fee. Because having PKM premium would be a good thing just to have overall in an account, just to look at market data and stuff like that. Obviously, we would put this towards our rental account more because that would be where we would pay our PKM fee. But right now, I am gonna push this into a liquidity pool, and we'll next time we'll look into our 5% fee on on Splinter Rents and also our 10% fee on Splex GG. Well, Splinter Rents is obviously better, but we want to look at the PKM after how much we're getting per air per I guess kind of towards our liquidity pool, how much we're gaining and all that. So to go into a liquidity pool, we first gotta. I'm using BSwap because I think it's a better option. I did do some liquidity pools before, like the CSPS, and before that when that was a thing. So first we want to swap our PKM. PKM. We have 167, so we want to do half of that, and we want to select SPS for that. So we want to switch half over to it. So if we calculate that, we would do 167 divided by 2, equivalent to 83. So we want to switch 83.5. We want to switch that over to SPS. We swap it. Make sure that goes through properly. So I don't have much PKM, but I'm gonna be pushing my PKM towards this swap and using this liquidity pool to see if we can reduce our cost of owning a Peakmonsters account. Because realistically, if we get airdropped it, we get airdropped it. Now let's go over back to pools and let's look at the PKM pool. Maybe we could check our current rewards for that. So I'll put our max, add liquidity. Let's add our liquidity. And we're putting 83.294 PKM and 20.31 SPS towards this liquidity. There we go. So it's added on there. Oof. Hopefully this does well for us. Our current value of that is $5. Or our reward. Average APR is 52%. Rewards is $5. $5.971. Not exactly sure exactly how much that means, but hopefully we get some good rewards from that, right? I'm hoping we get some good rewards. I would probably look back into this and see how much rewards we are getting in a future date, not currently because these take a while. We also could check tribal decks. Maybe tribal decks will show us our actual rewards for that. Not exactly sure. But we'll look back into that later. Then we go to my pools, your position maybe. I do have Forge DC back when that was a thing. Also back then. You see here, I had Swap DC. I had Swap High vouchers. I had those for a while, but I got rid of those when I started buying more things. Now here we have our PKM one currently, which I'm very excited. We also have the Forge one, which Forge is not paying too well, but you know I just keep it because I was like I might as well leave it in there. It's not that much Forge anyway. I'll show you guys my Forge one. I guess I could go to Hive Explorer. So liquidity pools are pretty interesting. I haven't used many of them. I just want to show our Hive, or not, our Forge one. Because Forge, this is what Forge is doing. Forge is, yeah, we receive 20 Forge a day, pretty much. We got that 3 hours ago. Let's look at received. We received 15 a day ago. We then also received 15 2 days ago. So we're getting about 15 forge per day, which is not much, but it's something, right? And that was just something I bought a long time ago. But we're gonna see if we could do the same thing with PKM, right? So we could look at PKM, and then we'll look into how much PKM. This is all our airdrops and our purchases, and our tournament also. But like I said, we'll join some tournaments. We'll see if we can build up our liquidity pool. Hopefully, reduce our cost of owning a Peakmonsters premium account. But yeah, guys, that is something that we're gonna look into. We're also gonna look into our other rental format. But for now, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.